Okay, so here we have a bassinet. I love these bassinets, the baby hood. It's kind of the mini cot. And then you can put the sides in and turn it into a bigger cot. But I find this is a really great option for your baby when they're little, instead of having a bassinet. I find the mattress is super firm. The mattress is very safe. There are no gaps down the side of the mattress. It's extremely firm. In fact, it was very hard for me to tuck the sheet in, but I've managed to do that. And yeah, and then I'm using one of the baby hood Breathe Easy sleep positioners. So SIDS, well, Red Nose recommend that we shouldn't put any loose fitting sort of items into your baby's bassinet or cot, as it's a hazard when your baby's moving around that they can get caught in it, or that their face can get caught up against it, or what have you. I really like these. They're nice and round, so your baby can't roll over them and onto their tummy. I like them because they're very breathable and made out of some nice breathable fabric, and they're very sturdy. And you can also position them so that they're not too tight, that they're quite wide, and still give your baby plenty of space to move their hips and to wriggle if they need to wriggle. So it's really about the way that you make your bed up, which will, help these things be a safer option if this is what you want to opt for. Everything you do as a parent is your decision. So, if somebody tells you you can't use this or you can't use that, well, perhaps there is a way that you can use it and it's still safe. So this is how I use the baby hood sleep positioners. It's the way I've always used them. I suggest them for many of my clients with very unsettled babies, or clients who aren't confident with wrapping. And I used them for all three of my children and never had a problem. So I used it for when they were little. I used it for when I was wrapping them firmly. And once they started wriggling and they're a little bit more developed and sleeping better, I just took them away. And, I just then used the sheet and tucked it in tightly. And there was no problem with that transition. So I'm going to show you now, with using Baby Clara, how I use the sleep positioners and how to make up the bed so that it's really nice and safe. So we pop them down, we make up the sheet so it's tucked in very, very firmly. You need a very firm fitting mattress is your safest option. And then you have a sheet which you tuck in, a lot of sheet. So use a single bed sheet or a large cot sheet in a bassinet, use sideways, and you tuck all of the excess material underneath the mattress, down the side and down the bottom, so that the baby can't kick it off and make it loose. You also make it up so that it's right at the bottom half of the cot. So we're going to pop the baby's feet so they can't go down any further, so they can't wriggle down. And we're going to have a very flat surface so they can't slide down. And then we place the positioners very low down here underneath the sheet. So I'll just grab Baby Clara, who is already wrapped and ready to go. And I showed you how to wrap this way in my last IGTV video. So take a look at that. But here is Baby Clara, and I've wrapped her, and now I'm going to place her into the bassinet or cot with feet underneath and down towards the bottom, in between the sleep rollers, which are very wide apart. You can see here that there is a lot of room, but we just pop it in like that so that it helps the wrap to stay firmly wrapped. It stops baby from rolling onto their sides, but you would find a very little baby wouldn't have the capacity to do that anyway. But as your baby's getting older, they might. So it stops your baby from rolling onto their tummies. And then what we do is we pull this nice tight top sheet and we place it, and you can see the sleep rollers are way down here, way below the shoulder, nowhere near the face. Baby has lots of airflow, lots of space, and nothing that could get in the way. Even the wrap's pulled down away from baby's face, but the wrap is still working to help your baby's arms feel nice and secure, and to stop all of that wriggling happening, which will help your baby to switch off. So your baby feels very secure in here. And I find these sleep rollers are great for big cots. If you want to put, being in a big cot is much safer for your baby than being in a bassinet, particularly closer to 3 months of age. So using something like these rolls in the cot, made down the bottom of the cot with a nice tight top sheet that keeps your baby securely in a nice safe sleep position and helps them to settle and stay asleep is a really great option, and one which I recommend highly. So we then place this tight top sheet, so the cover's not quite straight. So then we pull it across the baby and we tuck it in nice and tight. And as you can see, this mattress is very safe, has not much space in between, and you tuck all of the material in so that it's pulled tightly across Clara's chest, but away from her chest, so she can breathe easy. It's all good. She's nice and secure. She's not rolling, and it will help her to settle. So that's when people hear me talk about popping your baby into a cot and using a nice tight top sheet. That's what I'm talking about. Her feet are down here. She can't slide down. If anything, she's going to just wriggle up. And the rolls are keeping her feeling nice and secure without being anywhere near her face. So that's how I use the babyhood sleep positioners, guys. You don't have to use them. But if you have a very unsettled baby who's not sleeping anyway, then I suggest you might implement something like this to help them to gain a little bit more sleep. And then once they're getting used to it, you just take these away. You don't need to use them anymore. The other reason why I like them is because when you do have a very unsettled baby, we are told it's safer to put your baby on their backs, which it is, I agree. But when you have an unsettled baby that's awake and can't settle, it is okay to use these rolls to turn your baby onto their side with your help. Lean them into the roll as such, hand on their shoulder, pat their bottoms, and when your baby is lying on their side, you'll find if they're very unsettled, it takes the world away from them. When they're lying on their backs, it's all above them and they can find it hard to settle off to sleep. So if they're very unsettled and you're using the WotBaby app or the Bible and following the settling techniques, and you're coming into pat and shush and to help your baby to calm, you can turn them on the side while you do that, which is much easier for you to pat them on the bottom. And once your baby has relaxed or gone to sleep, you very gently just roll them back, hardly even touching them or moving them, back in between these rolls, sheet over the top, tuck them in tight, and they will be able to find settling a little bit easier, hopefully. Good luck, guys. I hope this has helped.